Hello, welcome to the MADYF Project Plan Workshop. I am Carl Bolivar. I'm a freshman, and this will teach you everything that you need to know about managing a project with this plan. So why do you even need a project plan? What is the purpose of it? Well, it helps keep track of tasks both in the present and in the future or in the past. And it helps improve the collaboration between people since you don't have to message each other constantly with new updates, with new tasks that are being done. So it improves the efficiency of the project quite a bit. So for this workshop, we're going to be planning a project. And for this project, we're going to be planning a trip. Your family is planning a trip to your favorite place. So you get to pick your place. And upon completion of this presentation, you'll be able to plan all types of events with this project plan. So in the chat, I will put a Padlet link and I will show how to For this Padlet link, it'll take you to a place like this. So to remake it, you click remake and you'll have these options here. Make sure to select copy design and copy post so that you get both the notes and the design of the Padlet. So the basic info of this project plan, this is going to be the cover page of your project plan. The first thing that is seen. What do you need to have on it? So at the bottom is most of the crucial information. You will list the version of it. So is it still continuing on? Is it a draft? The status, is it in progress? The update, when was it last updated? Was it updated last night? Was it updated at 8 p.m.? When was it updated? And the leadership. So this can be decided or changed as the project goes on, but this is the primary leader of that project. So the first section of this project is called purpose, and this motivates your team. It shows your team what is the purpose of doing this project. It's probably one of the most important things of your project plan. So how do you write a purpose statement? You identify the event name, define the overarching learning outcome, the target audience, and then how you want the people to feel from the event or project. So for example, we have the purpose statement of this workshop. MADYF will be conducting a back to school workshop. So that is the event name. Event at the beginning of each school year. This year we'll be conducting several workshops on project planning, essay writing, college planning, and scholarship searching. So that's the overarching learning outcome, what you want people to take away from it. The target audience is students, and the experimental aim is to help feel more prepared for the school year. Here's a perfect example of a purpose statement. So in your Padlet, let's make a purpose statement. Remember, you need to identify the event name, define the overarching learning outcome you'd like the attendees to achieve, describe the target audience, and then how you want people to feel from that vacation. So for mine, my purpose statement for my vacation is Carl Bolivar and his family will be planning for a vacation to the Bahamas in order to have fun so that they can feel better relaxed and happy once they return. Goals and objectives. So goals, it's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Now, all of that spells a specific word, but we'll get to that soon. The objectives, it's specific information on how to accomplish your goal. And objectives are similar to milestones, so they are your milestones. So goals need to be, again, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. And all of that spells SMART. because it's a SMART goal. So specific by it should specifically indicate what you need to accomplish. Measurable, how are you going to measure this project? Are there going to be tasks, stuff like that? Is it attainable? So can you do it? Is it realistic? Again, can you do it? And time bound. So what time do you need to have it done by? And this is very important because if you don't have a bound of time, you might procrastinate. So that is a risk. An example of a goal, and notice that we're not using all of the specific parts of a SMART goal, we're only using some parts of it. We're using time bound, the specificity of it, and the measurable part of it. So the time bound is on November 6th. The specific of it is essay writing, college selection, scholarship searching, and project planning through various workshops. So that's how specific it needs to be. And then measurable. So we'll measure it by improving workshops and completing tasks in order to complete the project. So this would be a goal statement, what you would need to write as your goal statement. So let's write the goals and objectives. Now you don't have to write the objectives yet because that'll be determined by your task. So let's just write the goals. And the goals I'll put back up. All you need is a time bound. You'll need a specific part of it, and then you'll need to specify how measurable it is and how you're going to measure it. Scope. So scope sets the boundaries or what you want in your project. And scope is what is delivered to the person as a result of your project. So scope is defined by what do you want in your project? What are the limits of your project? Out of scope is what you don't want in your project. So for this example, we have the workshop that we're doing right now. We want 5 in-depth workshops, each workshop about 1 hour, and participation from people all over the world. That's what we want. And for scope, what I'm looking for is a hotel with breakfast, a hotel with internet, a beachside hotel, a first-class flight, and then clear sky days. So let's do scope. And the notes for scope is also on the Padlet. So what are you looking for in your project? Like the type of hotel, type of transportation, activities, and such. Initial risk assessment. On the top of your head, what are the riskiest things that can happen? Think of them and then write them down. For this part, you'll have to be a little bit pessimistic, but being a pessimist is not that bad when thinking about risk. So, residual risk. So, residual risk is determined by the controls that you put on your initial risk. So, after your initial risk, you'll have a control in which how to control that initial risk. And then residual risk is the risk that comes after that control. So for this example, we'll use a dam. So the risk is that the water may flood surrounding areas. So the control, they build a dam to control the water. But the risk after the control is that the dam may break. So that is what a residual risk is. And these are my risks. So my initial risk, the flight is delayed, or the hotel has a bug with the system and couldn't find a reservation. I wake up late to a flight, or I forget some items. So how can we control that? Well, for a flight is delayed, it might be because of weather, right? So check the weather beforehand and see. For the hotel has a bug and couldn't find a reservation, maybe you should call ahead of time to see if they have the reservation, maybe a week or so. And then for wake up late to a flight, Set multiple alarms to wake up early, even though maybe we won't wake up to those alarms. It's good to have multiple so that we know that we need to wake up. Forget some items for the trip. Pack a couple days before the trip so that you have some time to think over some items that you need. Now, these are some great controls for these initial risks, but what comes after these risks? Well, maybe there's unexpected weather. Something comes out of nowhere. Maybe there are no rooms left. So if they couldn't find your reservation and you try to reserve another room, there's no rooms left. Maybe you are a heavy sleeper and you sleep through all of the alarms, which is a possibility. Maybe you forget a small thing. Either way, you pack a couple days before, which is definitely a residual risk. These are all risks. We will go ahead into gap analysis, which you won't have to do this time, since gap analysis is while you are executing your project. It'll be in the middle. So for gap analysis, you're going to reflect over your project so far, what you can improve on your project, and what lessons you've learned throughout your project. This will be mostly in the middle and to the end of your project. You'll take a snapshot. Task. So task will be determined by the name, the task name, the description, and then the status of the task. So the name is for the person responsible for that task in the team, and the description of the task, you have to be very specific, and then the status of the task. So is it in progress or is it not started yet? And for milestones are determined by your task. So milestones are a grouping of similar tasks. In this case, we have 4 milestones. All workshop presentations are completed for the Make a Difference Youth Foundation workshop. Marketing of the event is set out. Create an agenda for the workshop and set a date for the workshop. These are all milestones. So if we were to look here, we have a grouping of similar tasks. We have scholarship workshop, project plan workshop, college selection workshop, and writing workshop. All 4 of these are similar, so we can say complete workshops. So for my vacation, my tasks are to find a hotel, look for the cheapest first class flights, book both flight and hotel, find transportation from airport to hotel, and then make a list of activities that you can do during the visit. So from here, we can see these are acceptable milestones. Find acceptable transportation to destination. If we look back into the task, we look for the first class flights, the transportation from airport to hotel. So this would be grouped into find acceptable transportation to destination. Now for lodging, find a hotel is part of lodging. So that is a milestone. And then for find activities, make a list of activities that you can do during your visit is part of that milestone. And this list should grow as you go throughout your project, since you'll have more and more tasks that you'll come up with. So write the task and milestones. Task, what are the things needed that are needed to be done in order to complete the project? And then milestones. So group those tasks into similar groups, and those are your milestones. Remember that milestones are also your objectives. So now you can fill in your objectives with those milestones. All right, the project plan is completed. So you might have your vacation project plan completed or not. If so, that's good, but if not, that's fine also. You have all the notes there so that they can help you. Also, from this project plan, you can use it anywhere. So if you have an individual project, you can use it there. If you have a project at school, you can use this project plan there. And if you're wondering where this project plan is, it's also in the Padlet in the section called Resources. So I'll show you this section. We have an example of a college prep planning guide. So this is a planning guide that helps you through the college selection process. It has your purpose statement, and you'll have to add some stuff, but it has the general idea of each part. It has your scopes, it has your controls, it has your residual risk, it has your gap analysis, and then you'll have to fill in some stuff here. But most importantly, it has your tasks. So it has prepare for standardized tests and all of these different tasks, and also the due dates for each task as you go on through your high school years. Also at the bottom are resources for each person's slide. So if you were wondering where each slide was, well, here they are. You have Pranav's essay writing workshop, you have Doris's college selection process workshop, and then you have Esther's graduating college debt-free workshop. And if you have any questions on mine or need to refer back to mine, here's mine, which is project plan presentation. This link to this Google Doc, which everybody should have access to, will also be posted on MADYF.org. But congratulations, this is basically your whole project plan. This is going to be your most agile document so far. You need to update this constantly in order for it to work properly. So if you're project leader, or even if you're not project leader, make sure to update the task constantly, the milestones, and maybe the purpose statement might change as you go through, but update it regularly.
So along with something like a vacation, what else could I use a project plan for?
You can use it for various things, such as if maybe you're coding an application, you can have tasks for that app. So you need to download this specific software or this specific library, and need to make the back end or the front end of the web application. So you can use this for anything essentially. For school projects, maybe you have like a presentation that you have to present in like a month. You can use it there as well. Anywhere that there's a project involved, you can use this project plan, and you'll be the smartest person in the room if you know how to manage a project, which this project plan will help with.
So, what is the benefit? What is the benefit of using a project plan than just using a to-do list?
The benefit of using a project plan is that you can share it with other people as well, and it's easier to read than a to-do list. It also has a purpose statement there. So since you have that purpose statement, it'll motivate your team as well. They know why they're doing the project. It also has the goals and those objectives, those milestones. So you'll be able to keep track of how far you are in the project. It has many advantages over a to-do list. A to-do list is great for like one person, but for like a group of people or like a bigger project, a project plan will be better. Yes, and it's also great for accountability and visibility. So you'll be able to see where another person is in their task, and you can make sure everybody does their task correctly on time too. To do like a to-do list won't provide actions to do when a risk occurs. So remember when we were talking about those initial risks, and we were talking about those controls. Well, a to-do list won't contain those controls. So after the initial risk happens, you won't know what to do in order to control that risk. So it's not very wise to use a to-do list, but a project plan is perfectly good for all your project needs and to make sure that you don't fall into a hole of risk.